Hello guys, so welcome to this tutorial on working with Pandas data frame. So Pandas is a library in Python Python programming that allows you to use data in data frame. So in this tutorial we'll be learning how to convert data files from Excel. Then we'll look at how you can write data to Excel and read data from Excel files. We also look at how you can write data to CSV and also read data from CSV files. And finally, we'll look at how you can write data to a feather format and read data from a feather format file. So, but before we go, you guys already know what is Excel. Excel is a document that allows you to enter data in rows and columns. You're already familiar with that. So you can have your data that you're working with in Python programming. You can have them data already arranged in Excel cells, or if you have files that's in a CSV format. So CSV format is a comma separated values. Have the data entries just in a plain text file. Yes, is the data entries are in a plain text file, and they contains a list of data. So they mostly use the comma character to separate the data for that. So you can have files that are in CSV. And finally, the feather format. So feather is a portable file format for sorting data frames. Why feather? Because feather files that are in feather are usually lightweight, meaning like CSV consumes space and take more time to load. When you're working with them in programming, you're trying to read data that is in CSV, so it will take more time to load that if you have multiple data in it, as compared to having many data in feather format. So feather format is fast and is lightweight. So we'll be looking at how to play around it. So what I'll be using Google Colab to actually work with this. So if you have Jupyter or any other tool or Python IDE that you can use, feel free to go. But I would like to use the Google Colab. So it is an online editor. I want to use the Jupyter in Google Colab that allows me to write my codes in. So I'm going to search for Google Colab. So you can also use your own Python IDE, or you can use Jupyter for that. So I have my Colab ready. So I'm going to open a new file. So I need to open a new notebook here that I'm going to use. So I want to show you guys how you can write data and read from Excel, CSV, and feather. So I have my cells here. I have the Google Colab Jupyter open like this. Lovely interface. I love working with Google Colab. But the only difference is that in Google Colab, all your work is being saved in Google Drive. But that's not bad. So I'll actually show you guys how you can actually save on your local machine through the Google Colab as well. So let's begin with the code on how we want to write files and read files from Excel, CSV, and feather. So the first thing, I'm going to import Pandas because we're going to be working in Pandas. So import Pandas as PD. So I have that. So the other thing I need a from import. I want to use a from import because like I've said, files that cells that you're working, files that you open in Google Colab are actually saved in Google Drive. But I actually want to save on my local machine, so I'm going to use a from import. So to be from google.colab import files. So I'm going to import files. So files is what I'll be using to upload and download files onto my local machine. So I have that, and that's it. So now I want to create a data entry. So I'm going to use something like this. So I want to create data about car brands and their color. So let me have something like this, car brand. Yeah. So I will now want to specify the different arrays of different kind of car brands. So I want to use here, I want to use Toyota. Then I also want to use Benz. Oh, I love Benz anyway. I also want to use Tesla. I also love Tesla. Tesla, great electric car. Then I also want autonomous, great autonomous car. So finally, let me just have 4 entries and let me use Honda. So I have these 4 entries. So I need a comma here for the first entry. So I want to specify their color. Now look, I want to do color. So I also have to specify the color type for each of them, meaning for Toyota I want it, let me specify that it has color blue. For Benz, say maybe color red. For Tesla I will say white, and finally for Honda I want to use black for it. Yeah, so once I have it like this, I have my data created. So I'm going to use so let me use a variable like df. So pd, I want to create the data frame now. I want to create a data frame for it now. Yeah, pd pandas dot, so I want to create a pandas data frame for the values for the data that I've just created. I want to create a pandas data frame for it. So I'm going to use something like this and passing the data created this way. So I have the data created this way. So if at this point now, if I print df, let me just show you guys something. If I print df, I'm going to have it display right here. So let me run the cell. Okay, it's taking some time now. So I should have it displayed in tabular form. Okay, so let's give it some more time to populate. So after this, I will now go ahead to change it into an Excel file and read it, change it to an Excel file, then read it back from the Excel file. I'll also go ahead and change it into a CSV and read it back from CSV. So that's all what I'll be doing from here. Okay, well, let me just let me stop it now. Let me just go ahead and do something like this instead. So I want to have let me create a variable called file1. I want to have file1 to be, let me pass in the df dot to Excel. So this is the line of code I need. Okay, so that earlier command has run. You can see now, you can see the print df command that I ran earlier has loaded. So I have the car brand here. So I have the car brand here. You see Toyota is blue, Benz red, Tesla white, Honda black. So when I convert it to, okay, let me leave that line of code there, df, but I can just comment it out. All right, so when I convert it into an Excel file, so if I open the Excel file format, I should have something like this. So that's what I'm about doing here. So df dot to Excel, so that's the command you need to save it in an Excel file. So let me say, let me give it a name. I need to give the file a name here. Let me say example file. That's example file dot, so the format for Excel is xlsx, so it will be in an Excel file. So now I need to now download this to my, so if you're using Jupyter or if you're using another IDE, so you actually don't need to download it. It is automatically saved on your local machine. Because I'm using a Google Colab, so I have to, that's why I use it from importer to import files. Files allow me to upload and download. So I'm going to now call files.download. I'll call files.download on it, then the name of the file. So I'll just copy this here. This is the name of the file I want to download on my local machine. So I'll just have it right here. So I have it here now. So if I run this, so it should download. So I'm going to run this now. So it should download on my local machine. I think the network is a bit slow, but it's going to download any moment from now. Once it's downloaded, to be downloaded on my local machine. So with this now, I'll be able to save this data, data entries of the car brand and color that I've saved here. I'll be able to save it on my local machine, and you can open it or update it or share it or use it as an Excel file. And if you're a trainer, you can also share with your students. Or if you're alright, you see it's downloading now. Yeah, the file is downloading now. So I have it here. You can see the file now. Example underscore file.xlsx. That's the file we created. So now let's now read from this file we downloaded. Okay, let me open it so that you see the entry. I'll double click it to open it so that you see the content. It look like it will be with this. Now can you now see the car brand we created? Toyota, Benz, Tesla, Honda. Toyota color blue, Benz color red, Tesla white, Honda black. So now let's now read. Now we've seen how to save to an Excel file. So let's now read from Excel file to Excel file and display on in the cell. Display it in code. So I'm going to use, let me use a variable called df1. So I'm going to use df1. So I'll use pandas.read. So it will be read Excel. Pandas.read Excel. So now I'm going to pass in the name of the file. So I think I have it copied. Yes. So that's the name of the file. Then, so what I need to just do to display it here, I will have to print df1. So I have to comment this one out so that it will not get downloaded again. I've already downloaded, so I don't want it downloaded again. So I'm going to have it this way. So I'm trying to check if there's any error here. pd.read Excel. Reading from these. I'm reading from these. XLXS. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, don't need this. Alright, can you see? So I have it here. So we are now able to read the Excel we created. We didn't read from here, we read from that file. So the same way, if you have other data that is an Excel that has been shared with you and you want to perform data analysis on it, or you want to use it in your machine learning code, so this is how you're going to read. If the data is in Excel, so this is how you're going to read it there. So now let's go to the second one. Let's write to CSV and also read from CSV. So I'm going to have to comment this out as well, so I don't want that. So let me create a file too. So I'm going to create a file too. So I have df.to. So this is what we use to CSV. So I'm converting to CSV. So what am I converting to? So let me give it a name as well. Let me give it its own name. So I'm going to use the same file name, but the extension is different this time around. So this will be a .csv. So I have it. So don't forget that this df, the data frame, is what we've created here. The pandas data frame for this data, and that's what I'm passing the df dot. That's what I'm now converting to a CSV. So I have it that way. So let me download this. So I'm going to have it is files.download. Then the name of the file I want to download. So .csv. So So it's going to download this file already created for me. So example file .csv. So that's what I want to download. So I'm going to run this cell now. So the download should begin any moment. Right, you can see the download is currently downloading. I have it there. Yeah, so you can see it now. It's different from the one we downloaded earlier that is having a .xls. Now this now is CSV form. Now if I open these, I'm not sure if Windows operating system can open this, but I will show you how you can read. So in case you're trying to use data that is saved in a CSV file format in your data analysis task, or you're using it in your machine learning code, so these are you're going to read data that's in CSV. So you're going to, so let me open a df2 for that, a variable. Let me create a variable df2 for that. So pandas, so I'm going to use pandas to read it, but this time around it will be read CSV. Pandas.read CSV, then the name of the CSV file, that is example file.csv. So I have it. So let me comment this out so that it doesn't get downloaded again. So .csv, then I can now print. I want to display it here for you guys to see. Let me scroll this down. Okay, so I want to have let me scroll this down for that. All right, so I want to have print df2 so that I will display it here for us to see. So let me run this cell. Alright, so you can see we're able to read it from a CSV file format. Now finally, let's see how you can write data to a feather format, and also how you can read data that is in a feather format. I would like to comment this out. So line of code that you comment out doesn't get executed in your line of code. So what I'm going to do now, let me create a file 3 for that. Equals pandas. So I'm going to use pandas to write to a feather format dot to. So I'm going to use something like this, dot to feather. Then I'm going to pass in the name. I'm giving them same name, but only the extension is different. So this will be dot feather. Yeah. So I'm now going to download it. Files dot download. Files.download, then the name of the file, same name but different format. So I have example file dot feather. So I'm going to run this so that I will download the folder. Alright, cool. We're having some issue here. What is the problem now? Alright, so I think the problem is from here. So I'm supposed, since I've already used I've already converted the data into pandas, so I'm using df instead. So this is what I'm supposed to use, df instead. So guys, take note of that. So this one's supposed to be df, since that's the data that was converted into data frame. So you should run this way now. Right, can you see it's running now? So we have yeah. Now look at it now. This one now is the example file.feather, and this one is the CSV. Then the other one is in Excel. So there's it now. So my system will not be able to open this directly, but in line with code, you can open it. So let's now open it. Let me call it df3, a variable called df3. So now I can now use pandas to read it. Pandas.read, it's not be read what? Read feather. Pandas.read feather, then you pass in the name of the file. Yeah, passing the name of the file there. So this is .feather. So if you have data being shared with it as in .feather, so this is how you read it. So I can now print df3 to display it. So let me comment the download so that it doesn't repeat the download for me. So I have it this way now. So you should have the data here like this. So excellent. So guys, this is how you're going to we've demonstrated 6 things here. 3 things, three ways to write our data. So you can actually write to an Excel format, or you can write to a CSV format, or you can write to a feather format. And also the three other things that we looked at was to now read. So you can read, you now know how to read data from an Excel file. We also learned how to read data from a CSV file, and we also learn how to read data from a feather file. So I hope with this now you guys will be able to work with any file format that you have with you in your data analysis and machine learning code. So I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like it, share it, subscribe to my channel for great videos that I will be doing that is upcoming in data analysis and machine learning. So subscribe to encourage this kind of work. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.